So what's going on, guys? Mr. Dalek JD here, and welcome to some early Exo Zombies carrier gameplay from the brand new Supremacy DLC 3 for Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. I'm allowed to bring you guys 15 minutes of early gameplay. So in this, I'm going to be telling you everything you need to know about the map, all the new features, just all the new additions that they've made to this map in order to make the Exo Zombies experience even better. So to start off, which is pretty awesome, if you're playing in 4-player co-op, all 3 players, as you can see, you get split up into teams of 2, which is a bit like a throwback to the Rook zombies from World at War, where if you played in 4 players, the teams would be split into 2. But there's 2 spawn rooms which you can start in. This area here is quite an open outside area. The other one is outside, really open by the sea, like by the edge of the actual carrier map. My first impressions of this map is that I really like this. It's a big step up from Burger Town. It's a lot smaller actually than you'd expect from the Burger Town map. It doesn't appear to be so throughout the gameplay, but trust me when I say this, it is a smaller map. I wouldn't say it's incredibly smaller, but it is a lot smaller than you'd actually realize. So we've got lots of new zombie types in this. We've got some new weapons, new grenades, which is absolutely epic. So the mystery box will always spawn in this location here, which is the armory. You've got to hop down in order to get towards it, and we have quite a few new things in the box which we'll get into as we get into the gameplay. But 2 awesome things in this room. As you can see right now, there's a grenade disposal machine, and what you do is you throw your grenade in the hole. It's a bit like one of those kind of mini games that you'd see on TV, where you see the little kind of little discs fall into a certain section, and it's the same way with your grenades. You get it into a certain section, it will give you some bonus credits, which is pretty awesome and is a fun little mini game to do from time to time. But we have the mystery box here, it always spawns here, and another really cool thing about this room is that we have a brand new grenade which allows you to teleport. That's right, you can teleport in zombies with a grenade. These things are crazy, and you'll see me use them a little bit further on into the gameplay. But what you do is you just throw them, and whatever object it hits, it will teleport you to where it hit. So if you throw it across the room and it bounces on the ground, you'll be teleported to the ground. If you throw it up at the ceiling, you'll be teleported to the ceiling and drop down, which is just insane. Now, as we're exploring the map, we're finding perks that we have typically seen before, but we have a brand new teleporter which looks and works a lot like it does in World at War Derice, which I think is a pretty insane, I don't know if it's like a throwback or just a little Easter egg towards it, but it does look super cool when you teleport. It looks exactly like it did in World at War Zombies. Now, the way that the zombie rounds go is kind of similar to the original first map, where you have like rounds where it's just normal zombies, you'll have rounds where it's just dogs, and then you'll have rounds where it's the normal zombies, EMPs and stuff like that. So here we can see some very nasty looking stuff there through that little window. You can see what looks like a dead body with blood flowing everywhere, which is crazy. This is the moon pool area where we have the Exo health. That's just for you guys to make sure you know this is where Juggernaut is. A very freaky looking room, but what I'd say is this map is a little bit trickier than past maps, and you'll find that out as we get later on into the rounds. But it's a much easier map, as it's quite nice to you earlier on, as we don't really have a lot coming at us so far. No crazy variation in the zombies, we're just getting a lot of Exo zombies, and that's about it. An occasional EMP there, as you can see I get downed, which is not great. But let's move on and show you where the exosuits are. Now, the Exosuit Room is in the cargo, and it can be reached from 2 different points, and this is one side where we have a load of sharks in fish tanks just kind of swimming really menacingly towards you, which is absolutely frightening. And there's like a massive window as well. You can see this massive shark just laying there harpooned on the carrier. Is quite scary, to be quite honest. And for story wise, you might have heard throughout the video, but if you haven't already, Oz is now the announcer in Exo Zombies. I'm not sure exactly what's happened to him. I'm assuming he's dead, but anytime you get power-ups, you hear him speak now, rather than the usual announcer. You do hear Angie, but you do hear Oz as well, and Oz will talk to the characters on specific points as well. There was one point where I was playing as Mr. Khan, and Oz spoke to him, and Khan replied saying, "Oz, it's great to hear your voice again, even though I know you're not real," which is crazy. So we finally got cargo open, and this is where you get your exosuits, but unlike the other maps, this requires power, which is a bit crazy. So that was a little off-putting at first. It kind of threw us off. We're like, why can't we get our exosuits? It's simple. There's just a power switch which you have to power on in the cargo area itself before you can get your exosuit. But once you've done that, you've got your exosuit. You can jump around, and this area is really good for later on in the rounds because it's a really good training spot. There's loads of different vantage points where you can go up on the crates, and then you can just run around. It's a very open space, so definitely take advantage of this area when you get a chance. And this is also where I put down the brand new turret for this map, which I got from an Atlas drop. And this is a very, very cool drop indeed. I saw my teammate down. I was like, right, I'm going to cover him by placing down this brand new turret. And what it does is it's a bit like one of the turrets from Black Ops 2. It just fries the zombies within the radius, which is incredible. It's a really, really useful turret. If you see it dropped, definitely pick it up because it will definitely save you. And if you put it in the right position, hopefully zombies won't come from behind and take it down, but any that try and walk in front of it will just be fried, and it slows them down, and it's a really, really good turret. Now, an Exo Zombies map wouldn't be complete without infected rounds, so they are returning, but they are like they were in the first map. They're just their standard own rounds, nothing too crazy. But what's good about this location is that we have a brand new perk to play with, which is called Exo Stockpile. This gives you more grenades, and it gives you more ammo overall, which is cool. I was getting a little bit overrun by all the zombies here, but what's good is that there's more than one infected pad, which is great. As you can see that I bought that, and now I will have more grenades later on in the rounds, as well as more ammo, which is awesome. I think it only it gives you more lethal grenades without a doubt, but for the special grenades I think it only gives you an additional one. But you get this little backpack icon on your exosuit, as you can see in the right side of the screen. Now, in the previous map we had objective rounds where we had to save civilians, and this time round we have objectives where bombs will be detected in certain areas and we have to defuse them. Now, what makes this really tricky is that we have Sentinel Task Force soldiers which spawn in and can shoot you, which is insane. Now, luckily there's a brand new drop which you can get, which can call in a bunch of Sentinel AI to help you out, which is awesome. But if you don't defuse these bombs, what will happen is the area that the bomb is at will get gassed, and for that entire round you won't be able to go in there without being infected. But what's cool is even if you don't defuse the bomb straight away, as long as you take out the group of like enemy Sentinel, they'll drop a camouflage for you, and when you do take out these bombs, you do get an awesome drop. This time around we got open fire, which gave us infinite ammo, and that made the round quite quick and easy. Now, as the rounds get on, the difficulty for defusing these bombs get even more harder. Like from round 15 onwards, trying to defuse a bomb mid-round is pretty much impossible, and you're going to go down because these Sentinel AI, they get really clever. They can teleport, they are invisible, they make your life hell essentially. So the best way to go about these is to take them out quickly, because then if you take out all of them, they'll drop a camouflage and will give you some time to defuse these bombs. So we have some new zombies on the map, which you've probably seen quite a few times, and these are like teleporting zombies. I thought they'd be a lot more crazier than they are, but they just teleport very briefly, but they can get very close to you. So if they're like quite a distance away, they can teleport and kind of like phase through the air and get to you pretty quickly, so you need to watch out for them. But they're quite obvious to see as they're very vibrant. They have a very distinct shade of blue in their armor, so that's something to look out for. Now, I mentioned earlier about Oz and the fact that he's now the announcer, and this might lead to a little bit more explanation of that. So we have like a picture here which says Patient Zero with pictures of Oz, which is insane. And then there's another like section of the room which has a picture of him, and it says Analysis in Progress, which is crazy. Like, whoever is involved in this carrier ship, perhaps it is Captain Lennox, is analyzing the body of Oz. And there's like another section where you can see like a full like skeleton of Oz, and there's a percentage, I'm pretty sure it says 77% of Oz is now zombified, which means that Oz will soon become a full zombie, which is ridiculous to the storyline. But here I get the brand new gun, the LZ-52 Limbo. Almost got myself caught in a very, very bad situation, but this gun gun is epic. Without a doubt, the best gun so far in Exo Zombies. It doesn't have a lot of ammo, but this thing is just so fun to use. What it does is, whichever direction you shoot it at, it follows like a limbo line. So wherever you aim it, it slowly works its way down in a kind of like downwards angle, and anything in its path, it will kill, which is insane. Now, if you shoot the line low enough so it just goes above like the zombie's knees, for example, it will just cut their legs off. It won't actually kill them. But this thing is epic. The more you upgrade it, of course, the more stronger it gets, because later on in the rounds, it does take quite a few shots in order to kill these zombies. But this is without a doubt the funnest weapon I've used in Exo Zombies so far. And what's also incredible, I'm pretty sure this is a first, more than one person can have this weapon in the game, which is crazy. We had 2 players in this game at one point having the limbo gun, which is epic. And the more wonder weapons you have, the more chance you're going to survive. So that's a win-win in my opinion. And this thing just looks badass the more you upgrade it. Now, further on, I spin the box and I managed to get another new gun, which is the M1 Irons from multiplayer. Now, this is akimbo straight from the box, and these things are crazy cool to use in zombies. You have the exact wacky kind of zany sound you get from these things, and the Limbo and M1 Irons combo is a pretty fun combo at that. I should also mention that later on in the rounds, when we have dog rounds, the dogs are no longer just the standard dogs. These are EMP and teleporting dogs, so that's a new thing for Exo Zombies as well. But I know a lot of you guys wonder on terms of difficulty for the map, because I'd say that the first map was pretty easy. Burger Town was kind of easy, but the fact of just all the different objectives and stuff that kind of forced you in kind of made things very, very difficult. And I'd say this map is harder than Burger Town and Outbreak, but the things that they have in the map don't necessarily make it a worse experience if you don't necessarily defuse the bombs. All that will happen is for the round, the area that the bomb was in will be gassed out, which can be annoying if you want something particular, but it's not anything too crazy. Now, on your screen now, you're seeing something which is quite rare. You won't see this too often, but if you teleport or just go into certain areas, you'll see this random floating drone, and that will have a power-up in it, just a random power-up. There it was a max ammo, it could be like a double points or something like that. But if you see those, try your best to shoot the hell out of them, because you'll get yourself a free drop, and that is always great fun. As you can see here, with the right combination of power-ups, you can literally dominate this map. We're having so much fun here, just quickly defusing these bombs. But you want to make sure you defuse these as quick as possible, because if not, they move on to another area, and there's 3 areas in total where bombs can be planted, and the sooner you get rid of them, the better. It just puts your mind at rest. Now, there's one last thing I want to show you guys, and that is the new Exo Goliath. We can't have an Exo Zombies map without one, and as you can see, this is a different run. I'm on round 15 and it spawned. On the previous run, we got to round 20 and it never arrived, but this one is crazy. It will EMP rocket you. It teleports. It came during a round where there was infected zombies as well. And look at this thing. He smacks the zombies out the way. He doesn't care. He'll do anything to take you out. He can EMP you. He's much faster. He's got more health. He can teleport. It's every person's worst nightmare, and it has a very weird spawn rate on this map, so I can't promise that you'll be completely 100% free of an Exo Goliath during your experience on this map, but this thing is definitely not something you want to mess around with. Now, I'm going to let the gameplay play out for you guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, smash that like button. I'd really appreciate that. Let me know what you're thinking of it down below in the comment section, and make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. So we're bringing you guys a lot of coverage, loads and loads of Easter egg guides, little tips, everything you guys will need to know. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys on another video soon.
You can keep pushing buttons, because that will help.
Do we have another one of these things?